And now,
a Zone It 91.3 91-second movie review.
5, 4, 3, 2, and...
Action!
Shazam! Fury of the Gods is the second installment of one of the more popular superhero films of the DC Warner Brothers lineup. While this flick proves its worthiness to exist among other comic book movies within the mediocre to pretty good quality scale, it's sadly hard to ignore the feeling that watching it is like browsing through the studio's clearance bin. Overall though, I'd classify Fury of the Gods as a fun watch with a few, let's say, imperfections. The film was a little long, clocking in at 2 hours and 10 minutes, and most of that length could have been trimmed simply by cutting out some of the more repetitive jokes and gags. While initially it's pretty funny to see Zachary Levi as a naive superhero, the laughter starts to shift to groans after a while of seeing the same shtick. And some of the time spent on that repetition could have been reallocated to other areas of the story that seemed either rushed or underdeveloped. We spend a little less time with Asher Angel's young Billy Batson persona in this film, but we do get a lot of his foster brother Freddy, played by Jack Dylan Grazer. And Grazer was quite the standout in the movie. His great comedic timing and his dialogue and physical comedy stole pretty well all of his scenes and drew a good percentage of the film's laughter. While the sequel doesn't quite equal the amount of positives contained in the first film, Fury of the Gods still had a level of charm and entertainment value that made for an overall positive viewing experience. Both of the films of the Shazam franchise is an example of how the DCEU wasn't all bad, and it's unfortunate that the character could potentially get lost in the creative shakeup at the studio. My only hope for the new creative direction of the DCU is that the studio keeps the one trait that made Shazam films rise above the rest: its sincerity.
Cut! That's a wrap!